Hello and welcome to Coffee with Cow. My name is Sheila and I'm the Learn International intern. And today with me we have Noreen Morgan, a study abroad student, alum. Noreen, how's it going today?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Great, thanks for being here today. For all those who are unaware who Cow is, she's a lovable mascot who travels everywhere we go. Coffee with Cow is a podcast that aims to capture stories from students and international educators. And today, like I said, we have Noreen. Noreen is a special guest. She's actually my sister who actually encouraged and introduced study abroad in my life. So I'd love to introduce her and share stories that she has from her time overseas. Noreen, will you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So my name's Noreen Morgan. I'm from Cary, Illinois, which is a northwest suburb of Chicago. I went to University of Iowa, and my study abroad was through University of Pittsburgh, a program called Semester at Sea, which was really a pretty unique opportunity. We were able to sail on a ship which carried 600 people around the world to 10 countries on 4 different continents. So I would describe it as sort of the speed dating version of studying abroad.
Yeah, honestly, or to share, I actually did semester at sea too, about 5 years later, and that's kind of the reason why I did semester at sea is because my sister did it, and she had such a great experience, and I wanted to explore the world just like she came back and shared all of her stories with me and my family. And semester at sea, like you said, is you sail around the world and stop at different countries and cities. And I'd love to hear about a specific day or moment, city or country that really resonates with your time overseas while you were doing your undergraduate degree. Can you walk us through a special day that you went through?
Sure. So it was the first country that we had stopped in. And I would say it was about 2 or 3 days after we arrived at Japan. There were 2 of us that went to Osaka to this, the festival Kishiwada Matsuri. And I actually had to look it up because it's hard to look back and gain the scope of how large this festival was. Over 300,000 people, locals, travel here every year. And I just thought it was like the biggest cultural immersion that I had ever attended. I guess I'm sort of from a small town, and even though it's nestled up close to Chicago, I had never in my life experienced that many people in a couple square miles. But I'll try to paint a picture of this festival. There were these ornate wooden carts, double-deckered, and they were filled with performers, dancers, acrobats, all trying to balance on them while being pushed around on a lever and rope pulley system, very old-fashioned, at such high speeds. So there was an element of danger and excitement, just an explosion of color painted on them and with the outfits. And it was just unbelievable how we stepped into this city. We kind of just decided to go on a whim. And there were geishas, street vendors, dancing dragons, and it was incredible to witness.
Would you say that so it was your first stop on the ship, would you say that this was your culture shock moment of the whole study abroad experience?
I would, absolutely.
I feel like that resonates with my first stop, which was Morocco, and I could just picture the streets that I walked down on, the colorful markets that I walked through, and the lights at night, and it was just something that feeling I knew I wanted to chase the rest of the time while I was studying abroad. And whenever somebody asks me about a significant time, I always mention my first stop was Morocco. So it's funny that you mentioned that the first stop on your experience really displays an amazing time for your study abroad experience.
Yeah.
Was your time abroad in any way a stepping stone to any following decisions that you made or you took in your life?
Yeah. So I really feel like my travel experience has led me to choose my path, my career path. So my major at of Iowa was sociology, and that's the study of how people interact. Um, Going forward, I'm about to apply to graduate school programs um, to, to get my master's in human resources management. So I do feel like traveling has helped me gain experience and working with different types of people. And that's the part that I love the most, like working with different people and kind of analyzing that aspect.
It's definitely interesting. It's cool that you
Yeah.
want to continue that study and that interest moving into your graduate program.
Yeah.
I wish you all the best with
Thank you.
that educational experience.
Yeah.
So I want to go back to your day in Japan. Would you be able to
Mhm.
tell me in any way in your everyday life? Now, do you try to recreate that feeling that you had in that day in Japan?
I do. It's a bit harder these days. I have 3 children, and I have really established roots in the Chicago suburb. But um, yeah, that feeling of being one of the only person, um, a traveler in this huge town. Um, I wish I could recreate that more than I do, but I try to pick like my travel destinations so that I go to places where most people don't go. Like I won't go to luxurious locales, but more humbling destinations. Um, I do try to attend like cultural events, museums, music, and introduce my kids and family to just different experiences. Foods included. Even my 11-month baby, she loves sushi, and we really just try to embrace other cultures.
That's great. It's nice that you try to keep travel alive, even when you have a
Yeah,
busy life with the family. Would you be able to tell me
yeah.
your next wish list on your next travel stop?
So we're gonna do more domestic stuff. We want to do the national parks, and we currently have a bucket list going to summit all 50 state high points. And it's definitely, like I said, it's off the beaten path. I don't know anyone else who has done it, but together we've done 18 of them, which is quite an accomplishment because I have pretty small children. So to say that they've been to 18 states and hiked 18 mountains and met all of the people along the back roads is pretty cool.
That is neat. Can you tell me which one was your favorite or most memorable?
Um, Most memorable was definitely Michigan in the UP, because we got lost and
What was
we
that
had a
like with your
difficult
kids?
uh, we had quite a lot to overcome. Um, it's difficult to get to these destinations because you lose navigation, so you've got to go old school and have paper maps. So as prepared as you can be, I mean, there's always going to be more stuff to overcome with like closures and at this particular one, the road was closed and we couldn't get through. So we actually got a personal escort from some locals and we spent the day with them. So that was one of the most memorable because we got to enjoy it with some locals, and we probably wouldn't have made it had they not helped us out.
I always love hearing those stories. I get excited after end of summer because I know that you usually try to do some of those summit hikes with your children, and those pictures and the stories are very funny. I know that your middle child, my niece Finley, half the time she needs to be carried up, which is always pretty funny. But I know that at the end it's a really fun experience and the kids enjoy it. So I love hearing the stories.
Yeah.
So thanks, Noreen. Thanks so much for being here today. I really appreciate your stories, and I know I've heard most likely all of them. Actually, I know I've heard all of them, but I love sharing them, and I love that the listeners get to hear them as well. So thanks for being here today.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, I'd like to thank the listeners as well. You can find Learn International on all social media platforms such as Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn with our hashtag LearnINTL. This podcast is posted on our YouTube channel, which I'll provide the link at the end of this episode. And have a great rest of the day, Noreen, and thanks so much for being here. And I hope that you stay tuned to our next episode.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.